To start off, here is a video to showcase the differences seen by society of men and women in the workplace and in daily life.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, and their tears are filling up their glasses. No expression, no expression. Mad world, mad world.
In 4 out of 10 American families, women are the larger, if not only, source of income, and on average receive more college degrees than men. Yet, in 2015, full-time female workers made 79 cents to every dollar earned by a male in the same job. Besides the inequality in pay for the same jobs, women are still finding it difficult to obtain higher-level jobs in male-dominated fields. They continue to be employed in positions that are seen as typically held by women. Females account for 95.9% of secretaries, 96.3% of dental assistants, and 91.2% of registered nurses. We talked with both a man and a woman who are in the same job field to see how they were treated differently in the work environment.
51.
62.
I'm an attorney.
Managing partner of a small law firm.
I am the only female attorney. There are 3 other women in our office suite.
None. 0.
In college, due to the field that I was going into?
Yeah.
None.
Only the competition among people who are very smart to do well, but all good people.
Well, yes.
Can you elaborate?
Okay. Well, I just feel like it's not that the employer or the workplace, imposed it, but it's just it is impossible to do it all. It's impossible to be a mom because once you have children, you want to be with your kids. And yet, how can you expect to progress in your career if you're not working at it? So it's not the fault of your profession or your employer. It's just, it's one or the other.
And why do you think that you experience this? Like, why do you think this is the case for you? Like, why do you think your gender is put in that position?
Because we're the only ones that can have babies.
Okay. And
I've always enjoyed where I worked, but the fact of the matter is, I got the opportunity to take off a lot of time to be home with my girls. But when I chose to go back to work, I had definitely fallen behind in terms of, where the current state of the law was and technology. And that's what it was.
No.
Well, no matter what, you'd have to do what you have to find a career that you feel that you will love because that will keep you happy. So even though, I'm glad that I became an attorney because I think it's an important role in society and I'm still proud of what I do. So even though I don't think women can actually have it all, that should not stop them from still doing what they want to do. They shouldn't choose a career because they're a woman. They should just do what they want to do, and the rest will fall in place.
Work hard, impress your boss, set your goals.
For our piece, we picked Van Eyck's Giovanni Arnolfini and his wife. This oil painting was painted in 1434. This painting was a part of the early Renaissance in Northern Europe. This era is characterized by elongated figures, having every detail carefully rendered, as we can see by the mirror and the wood carving. Artists of this time period also tried to elongate the space by using high horizon lines. It is assumed to be a wedding portrait of Giovanni Arnolfini and Giovanna Cinamu. It shows a rich couple by the trims of fur, chandelier, oranges, ornate carpet, and mirror. The man in the portrait has his hand up as if taking an oath, and the dog at their ties into faithfulness to ensure a successful marriage. However, there is more to this marriage that meets the eye. In the mirror, we see two figures presumed to be witnesses of the marriage. However, the man and the woman's hands give a different meaning to it. Traditionally, the man would grasp the woman's with his right hand, but in ours, he is taking her with his left hand. This is called a left-handed marriage to show a marriage of unequals. When she is wed, the woman will then give up her right to inheritance and own property. The woman is also shown near the bed with her skirts gathered like a pregnant belly. The amount of layers she is wearing would be unfit to go outside. Everything would get muddy, so she wouldn't be able to go outside. This strongly shows how a woman's role is to remain at home and her job to raise the kids. The man's clothing is short and he is closer to the door, and the shoes to go out, showing how it is his job to go out and earn the money for the family. In Van Eyck's, his message is to show how women are to stay at home and the men are to go out, showing the inequality. We focused instead on the inequality in education and in the workplace. Although Van Eyck used oil paints for this, we found that those were too messy, so instead we used acrylic, but we were still able to blend them out so that we could get as much detail as we could in everything. The man is standing on a stack of books to show that he has a leg up on women with the same amount of education. Parts of the oranges are missing to show the pay difference between men and women in the workplace. There is a politician in the mirror to show how he is an observer of this inequality but is doing nothing about it. The woman is wearing a business suit but also has an apron over it to show how she is responsible for and what she's expected to do at home, even when she is trying to pursue a professional career. There is a child sitting in the middle of the room to show the constant stress and pressure put on a family by having children. Even though the baby is in the middle of the room, the mother is usually the one that ends up being the one to sacrifice her career to stay at home and care. The man is put by the briefcase to show how he's supposed to go out and make the money and a career for himself, while the woman is by the cubicle to show how women get more of the mundane secretary jobs. Instead of having their hands together to show inequality, we have the women holding an equal employment opportunity flyer while the man draws his hand back away from it, showing that many people are still opposed to this idea. We have the complex symbol of the women wearing heels. They make it harder for her to get through her daily life and are uncomfortable, yet they are such a feminine tag and give her a few inches in height and make her feel powerful. Overall, we hope to show the complexity of the inequality in the workplace and education between men and women in our piece. Although there is still so much to do, society is moving in the right direction. The automotive industry is just now seeing its first female CEO, Mary Barra, who has taken reign of GM. Here are some ending thoughts to leave you with. At the rate that the pay gap is closing, the Institute of Women's Policy Research predicts that it will take another 44 years for women to reach pay equality. Is this really something we want, this pay gap? Most of us will be well into our career and already thinking about retirement, but is it really just for the next generation? It is our responsibility to eliminate this gap. It is not a woman's problem, it is also men's too, to speak out and raise awareness to make this a reality.